are the 5th grade Round 1 books. This is a biography of a man called Eric Weiss. Have you heard of him? Well, he was a famous movie star. He was the first person to fly an airplane in Australia, and he was also a world-renowned escape artist in the 20th century. Does that bring to mind anyone? Can't think of it? Well, this might be a clue. A lot of famous people in history have changed their names, and it's for a variety of reasons. For example, Judy Garland, who played Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, Judy Garland was not her real name. Her real name was Frances Gumm. But the studio producers didn't think that name was very interesting, and so they changed her name to Judy Garland. Well, Eric Weiss wanted to change his name because he felt like it sounded too Jewish. At the time when he lived, a lot of people did not like Jewish people, and so Eric, whose nickname was Airy, changed his first name to Harry. And he really admired a 19th century magician called Robert Houdin, and so he took the last part of that man's name and turned it into Houdini. So he became known as Harry Houdini. Have you heard of him? Maybe. And he is still known today because he did amazing escapes from a tank of water and a locked chest. And why he's still relevant today is that people have still not figured out how he escaped from some of his contraptions. They don't know how he did it. And so it's still a mystery today. So this book, called Who Was Harry Houdini by Tui Sutherland, will tell you all about Harry's journey. This book is called Who Was Annie Oakley by Stephanie Spinner. Now, Annie Oakley was a sharpshooting legend who traveled the world entertaining crowds in a time when most women stayed home and raised their families. Her story has inspired books, television, and even a Broadway musical. But more importantly, she helped change the image of the American woman. In 1860, Annie was born in Ohio. She and her family lived in a modest cabin at the edge of the woods. She always loved going hunting with her father, but unfortunately, her father died when she was only 5 years old. With 6 children to care for, it was difficult for her mother to put food on the table. One day when no one was home, Annie took her father's gun off the mantle, even though she had been told never to do that and never to touch his gun. But she went outside hunting, and that was the beginning of Annie's sharpshooting career. This book is called The Sasquatch Escape by Suzanne Selfers. Now, does anyone know what a Sasquatch is? Have you heard of that before? It's kind of like a Bigfoot creature, kind of mythological creature. And this story is about Ben Silverstein, and he is sent to the rundown town of Buttonville to spend the summer with his grandfather. And he is sure that this is going to be the most boring summer of his life. However, when his grandfather's cat brings home what looks like a baby dragon, things get a whole lot more interesting. Ben and a local girl named Pearl take the baby dragon, who is a little bit wounded, seems like it's hurt, to the only veterinarian in town. It's called Dr. Wu's Worm Hospital. When Ben accidentally leaves the door open and a big hairy beast escapes, the kids realize that this is no ordinary veterinary. This book is called The White Giraffe by Lauren St. John. This book is about a girl named Martine, and she lives in London with her parents and has a pretty normal life. However, when tragedy strikes, she is sent to South Africa to live with a grandmother that she never even knew existed. There seems to be a lot of secrets around her grandmother's wildlife reserve, and there is a big problem on the reserve with poaching. Martine is particularly interesting in the whisperings and rumors about a mythical white giraffe. Now, her grandmother says that it's just a legend and she should forget about it, but one stormy night during a flash of lightning, Martine catches a glimpse of the white giraffe, and she becomes enamored with it, and she gets to know the white giraffe, and she vows that she will never let anything bad happen to the white giraffe.